Me, my take is Kenya Police being the first time being in CAF Confederation. Mi naweza sema kunaweza kuwa na maybe juu it's first timer, ile first timer. So maybe they can't be, but Kenya Police, me I can give them credit. Mali wametoka, as in their performances in the league, this past league actually have been good, as in we didn't expect this team to be that in the top flight. Hata venye walingia kwa top flight, and they have performed well, and they have cemented themselves into that let's say battling for the league next season. Mi naweza sema it will be quite difficult for them being first time in the league
competitions,
in that competition. And but all you have to do is just support them, and then the fact that they have had a good season, it's not that they have had a bad season.
Exactly.
in the FKF. Now it's up to them to use those kutumia hiyo ubunifu wa hiyo timu yao, venye wametoka mbali from the NSL to the FKF. Now they're in the CAF. Now they have to show themselves who they are, and I think that's where they can proceed.
So I have a question here, Rodney. Now they managed a 0-0 draw at home here. They played at New Stadium this past weekend. Now they are going for the second leg away. Coming out to the draw at your home, don't you think that's more of a loss, because now you had a home advantage and you didn't manage to come on top. Now you're going away. This team, Ethiopian Coffee, will be having now the home advantage from their home. Don't you think that's more like a loss to Police FC?
It kind of feels like a loss, but you know they're still on the same level. There are no goals scored, so they still have a slight chance. You know, they still have a possibility that they could go over there and win. Hopefully they do. But I really wish they would have at least won the home game, because it's going to be quite tough after that.
Definitely. And I remember there's a time in 2009, Sofapaka was just graduated from the NSL and came to the top flight, and on the same season they won the league. But now they performed fairly good in the CAF competitions, but now from then we have never seen a Sofapaka that has won the league again. So do you think the same fate will happen to Kenya Police? Because we've seen, like, when you go to England, we had Leicester coming in, winning the league, and now getting lost again. Do you think that's the same fate that is going to befall on Police FC, or do you think it's going to continue being on the top flight? Because based on the fact that there's one thing we can commend Police FC. They are running their clubs in the most professional way there is in this country. If you look at Police FC, the way they have carried themselves, how they prepare for their matches, the professionalism in that team. Recently, just the other day, I think it was last week but one, they launched an academy for young people from the age of 9 years. No, you are seeing that they are making a progress, or just bringing in they're bringing in ideas, or just mipango ya kuhakikisha kwamba they're not just focusing on this generation or this group of players. They are also focusing on growing up other talents, because they have partnered with schools to make sure that those talents that are in schools can be tapped in an early stage, so that maybe they can get that professional upbringing in this world of sports that is football. So what do you think Police FC will maintain in the top flight, that is just competing against Gor Mahia and the likes?
For me, I think they can maintain. That's my take. They can maintain. But it depends on now. The way now when you're making a CAF competition, now they have to gauge themselves. Wanafaa wajue sasa tumefika level gani as a team, as a club, and I don't see them falling off, because let's not forget, football is evolving, new stars are made, transfers happen, and the path that Kenya Police wenye wamekuja, yenye wamechukua kufika mahali wamefika sahi, for me it will be hard. Sidhani kama, even if it will be falling off, I don't think that it will be this season. I think this season they will be strong. Gor Mahia now have to be on the lookout, because Gor Mahia has been the team that has been dominating.
Exactly.
That the FKF Premier League, and you see the likes of AFC Leopards and Tusker and Kariobangi Sharks, Bandari. They didn't have a good start to the season last season. That gave Gor Mahia a chance to kuninio gap from number 1 to number 2, hence them going unbeaten for a couple of games. Say ikacha hiyo margin ya number 1 and number 2, and now the way that Kenya Police venye wamejieka, I don't see them falling off quite easily.
Yes, now Manu says he doesn't think that Police FC will be falling off anytime easily or anytime soon. Just operation on that. Now, this comes now at the back of, we are going to start the FKF Premier League is starting this weekend. That is on the 24th of August this year. That is this weekend. And before you even go to the fixtures are already out. They came out a couple of weeks ago. Now, basing on the fact that you've seen how Gor Mahia has played, coming out on the back of losing to El Merreikh now, and now how Police FC is playing right now, and the league is around the corner. The commencement of the league is around the corner. So, who do you think this season is on the front line in the FKF Premier League to win the league? We have teams like FC Leopards, we have teams like Kenya Police, as you have mentioned. We have Kariobangi Sharks, we have KCB, we have Posta Rangers who did this so well in the previous season. We have teams like Bandari, we have Mathare United, which has come now back to the top flight. So who do you see winning the league before even go into it further?
As much as I would like to see a different face at the top, I still feel like it's going to be Gor Mahia again.
Rodney, you're a Gor Mahia supporter?
No.
Which team do you support in the locally?
I'm not an avid follower of the Kenyan Premier League, however.
Okay, which team do you have a soft spot on? Let's talk about soft spot.
Gor Mahia, because I watched them before, especially when they played against Everton when they came to Kenya. So I still feel like they still hold that position at the top. So,
Manu,
yes.
What do you think?
I think it's tough. It's tough, but Kenya tu Rodney amesema ukiangalia tu on paper, it looks like Gor Mahia will still retain, but now that depends on how the season starts. You know, most of the teams last season, they didn't have a good start. Speaking of AFC, Tusker, and then you had like the underdogs now, walikuwa juu, Posta Rangers.
Exactly, yeah.
Speaking of Posta Rangers, yeah. Now it's up to these heavyweight teams. Gor Mahia, of course, Gor Mahia now they have wako na pressure now being the holders, and now kuna hizi teams zenye sasa tumongelelea Kenya Police venye wamekuja into the top flight na wakaji establish, and then now we do not forget teams like AFC, Tusker, those heavyweights or FKF. If they have a brilliant start to the season will be very competitive. It will be very tight, but on paper, as I see it, now Gor Mahia Badoki.
There's one thing that Manu has mentioned, and I think it's very important. We need a competitive league, definitely, so that we can raise the standards of our league, you know, from the outside eyes. That is the CAF, because I'm really looking forward to have a team in the Super 8 now, and a Kenyan team in the Super 8 there, because just for the sake of our league, you know. Yeah. And now to the fixtures there, because I've told you earlier that the league will be starting off on the 24th of August. That is this weekend. And now we have notable games here. Like we have a game KCB against Kariobangi Sharks, which will start off at 1 p.m. this Saturday. We have Posta Rangers versus Bandari on the same time. We have Mathare United versus AFC Leopards at 3 p.m. We have Tusker versus Sofapaka 4 p.m. We have Kenya Police versus Nairobi City Stars the same time. We have that one will be for the Saturday. That one will be for Saturday. Now, if you look at these games here, the fixtures, I hope you have heard me. I've said the first game will be KCB versus Kariobangi Sharks. Now, KCB performed. It was not. It didn't have that steady flow. It was shaky. It had a shaky season last season, because it's one of the teams that was expected to be hot on heels with Gor Mahia, but did happen. Then we have Kariobangi Sharks. I want us to go to predictions because very fast because the time is not on our side.
Yeah.
So I just want you to give me your honest prediction about these first games here. The first game is KCB against Kariobangi Sharks. Who do you think will win that game?
For me, I think Kariobangi Sharks.
Kariobangi Sharks.
Yes.
I'm not going to Wise because of time. Rodney?
Kariobangi Sharks.
Kariobangi Sharks. Yeah. So you're done playing KCB, You think the bankers can...
No, if you look at how KCB had ile season, venye KCB season imekuwa inconsistent, and we can't know, maybe they have had transfers and maybe money put to their project, so you can't know. So wamekuwa na an inconsistent season last season, so you can't know if they'll win or they'll lose, so you just go with Kariobangi Sharks.
We have Posta Rangers versus Bandari.
That one will be definitely Bandari.
Bandari?
Yes.
Rodney?
Draw.
You're going for a draw? Kama wewe mwekezaji, please listen. These are geniuses. You have a team that has come back to the top flight from the NSL, that is Mathare United, versus the mighty AFC Leopards. So who do you think comes out with the win?
AFC Leopards.
Had a good run last season, especially at the final stages of the last season, right?
Yeah.
So I hope they continue with the same projection, good form, okay?
Yeah. AFC.
Of course, AFC, might, of course. So those are the teams that will be. The last team, Tusker versus Sofapaka.
That one will be tight. Considering that Sofapaka wamepata nani?
Exactly. Matano from Tusker. Matano came from Tusker. Exactly.
That one will be spicy, and wow, that one will be tight. I'll just go with the draw because I'm not sure. that one is hard, but I'll just go with the draw. Yeah.
Rooney?
I'll say Tusker win.
Of course, I'm going for Tusker.
Yeah.
I'm going for Tusker, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of the reasons only known to me. Now
you can say the reasons.
No, I'm saying I reserve my comment on that. Now, Police FC versus Nairobi City Stars.
Police FC versus Nairobi City Stars. I'll go with Police FC. Yeah.
Rodney?
Police FC.
Wow. I hope you've heard. So if you are a Panther, we call them Panthers, Wale wawekezaji.
Okay.
Download from the wisdom of these two because I believe they are up to the task and they know their trade very well. So kama umekuwa keen, wekeza venye walivyosema and we'll see who comes out on top. Now, I look at my time, I think we should be going for a break. But before that, I feel like before that, there was a women confederation game. For the first time, Police Bullets, that is. The feminine team of Kenya Police also qualified for the CAF. Now, they played against a team here called Yei Joint AFC from Ethiopia. The game was played at Bikila Stadium in Ethiopia, and they came out to the nil-nil draw like their male counterparts. Yeah. It's also their first time in this particular feat. And what do you think about this? Like the whole Police FC fraternity.
Yeah.
What do you think? Because it is having both teams in the Police FC have qualified for the CAF Confederations Cup for Confederation Cup. Sorry. What do you think about it? What do you think about the Police FC fraternity when it comes to football?
I can just commend them. I can just commend them for the work that I've done. Both the women's side and the men's side, because now ukiangalia as a whole, unajua most of the time it's the men's side yenye inapewangwa more priority as far as football is concerned.
True. But
now if you look at it venye policemen is prospering and women are also going up, it shows you that the Kenya police fraternity as a whole is doing something commendable, and you just have to commend them for the work that they are doing. Even if I'm a draw, you can still commend them. It's also their first time.
Yeah, and away.
And it's away. So you can just commend them at this point, and more is yet more is to come, as in
From them.
this police fraternity, sana the men side, how venye wame come up kwa league and sasa hivi venye wako kwa top flight and they can this season, like wengi wao wanaweza sema wao ndio favorites, wanaweza challenge Gor Mahia at this point mali wamefika. So I think as in you can just commend them, for the work that they are doing, and I hope they can still continue producing these results more and more. Yeah.
True. Yeah, we hope that they continue producing such results because it brings competition into the league. Now, I want us to talk something small about the women football in this country. For the longest time, people feel, or the truth is, the women's side of football has been neglected for the longest time. But in the recent times, you have seen now a certain growth. You know, a very tremendous, a very fast growth of the women's side. Right now, we have a Kenya under 20. Harambee Starlets under 20 qualifying for the World Cup. They are going to play a World Cup. I think in what month? Will it be next month or I think so, or November? Yes, they qualified for the World Cup. So, and it appears that maybe the women football has overtaken the male football in this country.
Exactly.
Because we have never had a Harambee Stars qualify for the World Cup. Whatever level, which is under 10 and 20, we have never seen that. But for the first time, we have a Kenyan football team in the women Harambee Starlets under 20 qualifying for the World Cup. What can you say about the women football as a whole right now?
I can say, first of all, it is very commendable that we have women's football at a very high level in our country, considering that even around the world, it's also growing as a sport. So
yeah, true.
Hopefully, we see it grow even better as time goes on. And I don't know, I hope they get to learn from the Kenyan police, so that they can come up with either transfer strategies or scouting so that they can go to schools and look for talent. Because we've had a big problem for a very long time where we have talents from high schools or from wherever, but after they're done with school, they really have nowhere else to go. Very true. And I feel like that's one market opportunity that our teams can take to improve our sports as a general.
Very true. That's very true. And just to add something small before we go on a break, just to tell you that you can continue this conversation. You can talk to us on our social media platforms. We are live on Facebook and on EBN TV and also YouTube. So keep in touch with us, talk to us, share your comments on our social media platforms, and I'll sure read them here just to see your contributions on this particular topic. So right now, I'd like us to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll be going now to overseas and talk about the English Premier League, or just the commencement of the leagues in Europe as a whole. So, Kapo, don't touch that dial.
You are watching EBN TV, transforming your world.
Welcome to Boundless Hope Rehabilitation Center. We aim to be a guiding light for individuals seeking a new beginning. Our comprehensive approach encompasses residential treatment, detox, and aftercare services designed to instill hope for a healthier and more fulfilling life. Our compassionate team conducts both group and individual therapy sessions, and our licensed counselors and empathetic psychotherapists provide the support needed for a successful recovery journey. Additionally, we prioritize the well-being of our patients by offering nutritious meals, comfortable accommodations, and lifelong aftercare services. We are dedicated at empowering our patients to provide a free 3-month course in graphic design, computer skills, and many more. Upon completion, we assist individuals in connecting with educational institutions to further their personal and professional development. For further information, contact Maggie or William at 0711 862 996 or 0725 430 776. Or you can email us at boundlesshoperehab@gmail.com. Boundless Hope Rehabilitation Center, where a second chance truly matters. Are you craving something sweet to brighten up your occasion? Look no further. Juliet Occasion Cakes and Bakers Limited has got you covered. Discover a world of delectable treats that will satisfy all your needs. We take pride in our from-the-scratch recipe and time-honored baking techniques passed down through generation. Indulge in the sweetness of life with our delectable occasion cakes, from elegant multi-tiered wedding cakes adorned with lifelike sugar flowers and delicate piping, to whimsical kids' birthday cakes in the shape of their liking. Our handcrafted creations will make every moment memorable. Birthday cakes, corporate cakes, graduation cakes, wedding cakes, baby shower cakes, holiday cakes, bridal shower cakes. For orders, you can call or WhatsApp us on 0725 038 177. Juliet Occasion Cakes and Bakers Limited, aspiring to make your satisfaction our topmost priority.
Welcome back to the Scoreboard and the gang. So we were talking about the local sports in the first hour. Now jumping on to the second hour. In the last hour, like I said earlier, we'll be going now overseas to talk about the just commenced European leagues, ranging from the EPL. We have the La Liga. We have literally all the leagues in overseas in Europe have started officially this weekend. But so there were notable games that started this week, and I would like us to start with we'll start with the La Liga. Okay. Now coming back to, but before even go there, last week there was a Super Cup.
True, yeah. There
was a final Super Cup final.
Yeah, Super Cup final.
And what did you make of it?
Super Cup. Okay, Super Cup. Most of the guys they are hawakwangi concentrate on Super Cup. People just want the season to start. Okay, Super Cup is a major trophy. You can't overrate that. But now, despite the pre-season may happen, and of course now you see Super Cup, nikiangalia team ya Real Madrid, and it was Real Madrid versus Atalanta. Of course Atalanta won the Europa and Real Madrid won the Champions League. Now kiangalia that Super Cup game, it was just, I didn't watch it, but when I saw the highlights, ilikuwa one-sided and Real Madrid dominated. Of course unajua Real Madrid sasa wamefika ile level yenye ni kama final boss kwa game, kama kupata na final boss. A team having Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo, Valverde, Bellingham, Camavinga, it's wow, that's final boss level. But of course Mbappe scored his first Real Madrid goal in that game, and It was just predictable. Real Madrid to win the game, and it was too predictable. Yeah.
Yeah, the Super Cup set at the pace for the La Liga commencing, and now La Liga commenced this past weekend. And before even I talk about it, what do you think about Mbappe in that team now? Having a forward of Mbappe, we have Rodrigo, we have people like Vinicius. What do you make of that team now? Do you think now when it comes to the Champions League now, like it is sealed because they won it last season without Mbappe, and now we have a very high profile player now in their team. Yeah. What do you think about Real Madrid now as a whole team?
At the moment, I feel like Real Madrid are the perfect FIFA team. Mm-hmm. They have so many quality players. As in unafikiria, who do you even start? Who do you bench? And I feel like Mbappe is a good player for them, but I feel like they're really overloading their left wing. You're not really sure, is it Vinicius, is it Mbappe, is it Rodrigo, who is the out and out?
There's Enrique who came in just the other day.
Yeah. So you're in a bit of a dilemma. Who is the out and out left winger?
Are Real Madrid trying to become unbeatable?
I think they are wakwele stage looking at the future. Kuendeleza hiyo legacy ya mali Real Madrid ilikuwa, and ukiangalia mali Real Madrid ukiangalia from when they signed Cristiano Ronaldo, when you progressed through that, like the famous 2017 team, as in all through that years, as in wamekuwa unstoppable. I think venye Ronaldo, yani Cristiano Ronaldo, venye alitoka Real Madrid, they went to that stage where walikuwa very lackluster, and now I think wako stage yenye they want to go back to that.
Exactly.
As in work with the only dominant force in football across Europe.
Because when you look at the team that was like before, the team that won 3 Champions League in a row, we had people like Cristiano Ronaldo, we had Gareth Bale. Right now, Cruz is retired. You know, that age is gone. The A-list players, the Galacticos now are gone now. Right now, they're trying to rebuild that. You know, if you look at their forward, they have the world beaters in their forward. If you look at the midfield, they have the best midfield. If you look at the defense now, they're trying to bring that unstoppable Real Madrid that we used to know, which is a good thing, but unfair to a competition. Because right now, let's face it, Barcelona is on a downward spiral.
Yeah.
Barcelona is falling because
wako rebuild. I can say they're rebuilding because getting Hansi Flick as the coach, and but you know, with Barcelona, we just tunajuanga tu venye Barcelona wanakuanga. Barcelona, like, you just suck past, as in I don't know if it's disrespect or, and then I didn't like how they did with Xavi, because when walim sack to hivyo, because that guy won them the trophy, the La Liga league, and then now venye sasa alianza sasa kukuwa na a bad season, just I don't know. I get it that you have to be good in teams like Barcelona, Man U, those kinds of, as in you don't have to be down, as in ufai kukuwa na failure, inafaa kuwa tu kwa success, but now you don't give manager time. Now you just sack him and then you start another rebuild again. So I think that's what is failing Barcelona. And then I think, of course, Kenya ilifanya sasa wende chini sana ni kulose Messi, and that's another story.
I feel like they haven't really found a replacement for Messi ever since he left. They brought in Ansu Fati and he performed,
didn't work out
a bit, but it didn't really work out. Maybe right now with Yamal it might work, but let's wait and see.
And not just Messi, I feel like there's a lot of people they haven't replaced. People like Xavi, Iniesta's, that midfield that was so superb during those days. I don't think they found the replacements yet. They have De Jong in their squad, people like that, but still they're not up to that level that Xavi's and the Iniesta's and the Busquets. So, but still, now let us not go deep. La Liga started off this weekend, and let me just read the results that came out. The first game was Athletic Club versus Getafe, which ended in a 1-1 draw. We had Real Betis versus Girona, also 1-1 draw. We had Celta Vigo versus Alaves, which whereby Celta Vigo defeated Alaves by 2-1. We had Las Palmas and Sevilla, which ended in a 2-2 draw. We have Osasuna versus Leganes, which ended in a 1-1 draw. We had Valencia and Barcelona, whereby Barcelona won 2-1. Real Sociedad versus Rayo Vallecano, which ended with a win for Rayo Vallecano in a 2-1 result. We had Mallorca versus Real Madrid, 1-1 draw.
Yeah.
Ilinistua sana. We have those were the games that were played this weekend. Like if you look at this La Liga, a lot of the games here ended in a draw.
Yeah, they have ended in draws, a lot of them.
Of course, I'm sure watu wengi waliumia sana kwa bets. Because nobody really expected Real Madrid to end up to end up in a one-all draw with a team like Nini. With a team like Mallorca.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ilinistua sana. Coming from the back, coming from just winning the Super Cup the same week and drawing with a team like Mallorca, it was unheard of, you know. And
that's what we are saying with Real Madrid. It could be a good season for them, actually a successful season, but still it could be a bad season for them. Of course, they have a world-class coach. Speaking of Ancelotti, but now ukiangalia tu venye hiyo team imekuwa structured, you can't know how is itakuwaje. Rodney amesema point mzuri sana, overload the left side sana. Of course Mbappe can play Mbappe can play as a striker. And he can play on the left wing, same as Vinicius, same as Rodrigo can play on the right. Of course, even Rodrigo can play as in whichever the top three, anaweza cheza left, anaweza cheza right, anaweza cheza katikati. Now sasa ukiangalia how venye tu Real Madrid wame restructure your team, I get it, it's looking at the future. Those players are very young, a lot of them are very young.
True.
And I get it, it's building on the future. But now ukiangalia, you can't tell well that which structure are they just going for money, or there's a lot behind the scenes. Tunajua tu president wa Real Madrid venye anakuanga, and you can't know. So it can be a good season and it can be a bad season, make or break.
Because if you look at the starting 11 in that particular game, the front line, they started with Vinicius on the left, Mbappe as the striker, and they had Rodrigo on the right side.
Yeah.
Which means they dropped Enrique didn't start that game. Yeah. In the midfield they had Bellingham, they had Tchouameni and Valverde.
Yes.
We had in the defense we had Mendy, we had Rudiger, Militao and Carvajal. Of course at the post we had there, between the posts we had Couture. Now this is a star-studded team. Goes without saying.
It's a world-class
team. If you look at on paper, it's a world-class team. And if you look at that particular game, 13 shots on target, the full game, 5 on target each, both Mallorca and Real Madrid. And it's a game that people feel like if you watch that game, if you look at the statistics, Mbappe lost a lot of chances.
No.
Quite notable chances that you don't expect to be lost by the profile of Mbappe as a player.
Yeah.
And that shows that sometimes a star-studded team is difficult to coach,
Yeah.
Like literally, I feel like maybe if you look at this front line, we have Vinicius Jr., a very good player and a scorer. So Vinicius expects to score. Mbappe expects to score. Renrique goes without saying.
Yeah.
So when you have a team like this that everybody expects to score, it sometimes becomes difficult,
Yeah.
And the pressure that comes with being a Real Madrid player and the level that is expected from you, from that team, it gives a player a lot of pressure. Rodrigo scored, of course, that goal that they scored. And of course, it's expected because Rodrigo has been on form like since forever.
Yeah.
It's one of the best players you can have.
underrated.
Very underrated, exactly.
Yeah.
But a very good player, super good player. And Mallorca, which of course equalized later on. So, what do you think of that draw with Mallorca? Does this show that Real Madrid has a problem with performances now that it has a star-studded team? Is Ancelotti able to coach this team to gel to be one team, not just a team of individual players who are stars?
As you said before, I feel like maybe they just had a slow start to the season, and considering that Mbappe is a new signing to Real Madrid, maybe he's not. It's as in he's in a league that he's not really used to. So we could give him time and see how things go. But overall, he's a good player, and I feel like he'll come to pay off eventually.
He will come around.
Yeah.
Ferran Mendy got a red card at the 90 plus 7th minute, which is just the game literally was ending.
Yeah.
Do you think now on the right wing, on the left back side, is it left back side? Sorry, losing Mendy in the next games, will it affect how Real Madrid play on their performance? Because it's one of the notable players in that team.
It will affect them. Of course, Mendy is an important integral part of this team. Na ukiangalia nikiangalia team, it like the coach has to force a center back to be a left back because David Alaba is injured again, and he can be out for long. So because Alaba is also preferred, Alaba is a versatile defender. He can play as a center back. He can play as a left back. He can also play as a defensive midfielder. That's how versatile he is. But now, since his injury, and we haven't seen a lot from Alaba, and Mendy now was the one who's very integral part in this team. Now losing, of course, he's suspended for that red card. Now I don't know how. It's up to the manager.
And Camavinga is also injured as well.
Exactly. That's a good point.
At left backs.
Camavinga is injured. That's a good point. Camavinga is injured because that's another option to play as a left back. Now Camavinga is injured. Alba he's out for a long time. That can be a weakness. That left back, we can't know. Now it's up to the coach because I don't know who he can put as a left back in that situation. Maybe he can force a center back to be a left back, or maybe Lucas Vazquez. Lucas Vazquez can play as a right back. Maybe does he have to force him to a left back? We just have to see from the manager. It's up to the manager now to decide.
Do you think if they employed a defense of three and not fill the midfield, it can work? Because you can have Rudiger, Militao, and Carvajal playing playing as the defenders. Then now include now person like Modric now to the midfield. So maybe because Valverde is a workaholic. He can go forward and come back, So that one is like he'll be having the defense and also going forward. So that one can work, right?
Yeah,
I think that one can work.
It can work.
So I don't think it will be a headache for Ancelotti because I believe he's a good coach.
But the question is, what is their style of play?
Of course.
Now that's another thing.
Yeah. That's something they have to work on training. Now let us go now to Mallorca. We have talked about Real Madrid. You are Mallorca right now. You have forced a draw against one of the best teams in La Liga, in the name of Real Madrid.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel? What does that build into you now going to the next matches?
Let me start by saying that they themselves they didn't see it coming because most people saw that Madrid will win despite their side is very strong. Now Mallorca looking at this result and without forgetting, Mallorca were the ones who came back because Real Madrid scored first. Now Mallorca scored second. Now it can build them. It can build them this season, and it can build them.
It's a morale booster for them.
A morale boost for them because they are not. Lesser is strong, and now facing Real Madrid and drawing. Of course, people will say it's the first game of the season, but now it can build them. This game can be very important for them in the next games to come.
Let's now first jump to the next game, which was Barcelona against Valencia, whereby Barcelona got a win, a 2-1 victory over Valencia. Now, let us talk about Lewandowski. Coming out with the 2 goals, scoring both goals. Now, first was a penalty at the 49th minute, and 45 plus 6. The first one was 49th minute. The penalty came at the 45 plus 6 minutes, and at the time. So, what do you talk about Lewandowski? What do you say about if you look at Lewandowski's age and the performance he's putting in season out, top performances, scoring a lot of goals. So, what do you talk about Lewandowski in relation to the age that he is in and still being that good striker that he is?
It's a mixture of talent, and I think just his proficiency as a very, very good striker. And I don't know, I was hoping Barcelona would go shopping for another striker, considering that Roque is probably leaving.
Of course he will. I've heard rumors that he'll be leaving.
Because should Lewandowski get injured, who's going to fill in for them? So, but I feel like even at his age, they still have a very good striker in hand. Yeah.
In Lewandowski, of course.
Yeah.
Because the numbers are there to be seen.
Yes.
Like he's so consistent. Like I'm even worried that if you're a striker being signed in the team like Barcelona, right now Roque is going because maybe he doesn't have a chance to play to compete against Lewandowski unless Lewandowski is injured. No, that tells you that. And just having the trust of the coach in that at that particular age, you are no Cristiano or Messi, you are Lewandowski, but having that trust maybe it pushes him to perform better. If I look at the Barcelona team that started yesterday, we have Ter Stegen, of course, at the posts. We have Balde, Martinez, Kubasi, and Koundé. Defense, we have Casado and Bernal at midfield. They played at 4-2-3-1. That is literally 4-5-1. Okay. Yeah. So they have Ferran Torres, Rafinha, Yamal, and Lewandowski up front now. If you look at the Barcelona bench, they have people like they had Pedri. Pedri is back, right, and he played a little bit. We have Christensen, Victor, of course. We have Garcia. There's so many. So they don't have. Okay, the bench is not that. You can compare it to Real Madrid maybe, but they still have good players at the bench. At least 4 notable names there. So I don't think Barcelona is. I don't think this one is a better squad as compared to the Real Madrid squad. Yeah. But I think it can do something. You cannot say that maybe they will win the La Liga. Of course, Real Madrid are way ahead of Barcelona right, as we speak at the moment. Yeah. But I think that we still have 2 weeks to the closure of the transfers. Yeah. So unless they do something on the market, but looking at getting their first win on the first game against Valencia, which is a very good team also, I think that's something to give them a morale going forward. And because so many people have lost that trust in Barcelona. Yeah. True. Look for a better word, Yeah. Because right now, if you look at Atletico Madrid is coming up. Also, if you look at the signings that they're doing, they are looking to bring competition to both Barcelona and Real Madrid. So I think Barcelona, with everything that is going on in Barcelona, I don't think they're at a. Do you think Barcelona is at a good place to win? Can they win the La Liga as we speak this season? As at now, if they don't sign any other player right now,
it depends on Real Madrid's performance, but. On paper, I don't think so. I really don't think they are at a position to win the league. Yeah.
So literally you're saying that Real Madrid is the lone wolf. Real Madrid for us will get Punda.
Possible. No. There is Girona behind them. There's Atletico Madrid. So there's still a bit of competition over there. Real Madrid are still the favorites.
And you've mentioned something there very important. Girona. Yeah. We saw how it performed last season. Yeah. Everybody was shocked with the performance of Girona last season. Yeah. And yesterday, they played on Thursday. It ended in a 1-1 draw against Real Betis. And the Girona that we saw last season, do you think Girona is going to be to pose a threat to other teams even this season? Do you think it's going to maintain that?
I think so, yeah, because they've definitely had a transfer window. Okay, I haven't followed up on Girona, so I'm not really sure who they've signed in particular, but they still have the same manager, so I feel like they're still going to build on whatever they started last season. So, yeah.
And we hope so, because we need competition in La Liga. For the longest time, we've been hearing of Barcelona and Real Madrid, and Kidogo Atletico, which comes once and gets lost for 10 years. Yeah. We need that competition in La Liga. You know, I think La Liga was almost turning out to be a farmers league. It was almost turning out to be a farmers league. So it's a good thing for La Liga. Yeah. At least it brings about the sweetness of the league now. Okay. So Girona, I hope they pose that threat to the 2 teams or maybe 3 teams, at the top. I think that's all about La Liga. I want us to jump straight to, some would say, the best league in the world.
Best league in the world.
The most rigged.
It is, right? Or the most followed league in the world. Unless anybody has anything to say about La Liga before we go to the EPL.
No, we are good.
We are good, right?
Yes.
So I hope you've had something. So if you have anything, please, to our dearest viewers, Anything, any contribution, please go to our social media pages. I will be reading your comments and your contributions, and we'll be very happy to hear your views about everything that you're speaking about at this moment. Now, let us jump to the EPL. Of course, the EPL started last weekend, on Friday to be precise, with the first game being Manchester beating Fulham. Yeah. And I hope did you watch that game?
Yeah. I watched the game, but I didn't watch the whole of it. It was a lackluster performance from Manchester United. I expected something different from Manchester United because of the signings that they have made. And I watched that first half. I didn't watch the second half. I just watched the first half. And I looked at the gameplay and the style of play that they're playing. They're still trying, but I can't.
Did you just say try?
I can't. Let me tell you something, Mike na Rodney. Seriously, I can't differentiate performance here in ili happen on Friday na last season. To be honest,
that was harsh.
No, if I'm just saying the truth. I'm just saying the
true.
I am saying it. I watched that game, and of course, Mazraoui played well. He was making a lot of runs. I think I saw him he was doing both the overlapping fullback and an inverted fullback, which he did absolutely fine. But now, if you look at the midfield and the attack, you see, ukiangalia lineup, but Fernandez alianza kama striker.
Yes, a false nine.
I don't know what they were trying to do, because maybe he tried to work out versus at the Community Shield. I just don't know. And if I look at that performance, I can't compare it with the last season performance. It's the same.
Just to comment on that, I feel like there was a lot of comments on social media about our performance, that it was a bit underwhelming, but I feel like people had over expectations considering the signings we made. They had an idea that we're going to see a completely different Man United all of a sudden, and which is now being translated to the game. Because if you look at the stats, last season we were conceding more than 20 shots per game.
Of course.
This game we faced like 10 shots. We dominated the XG. We had like 2 point something. Fulham had 0 points something. So there's definitely improvement. I'm not saying it was perfect, but there have been improvements this season, and that wasn't our
best.
What I can say, our best team. Bruno isn't traditionally a striker. We saw what Zaxi offered when he came on, so we're going to see that being built on as the season goes on. And we still have Akina Delitz, Akina Mazraoui, yeah. Hopefully, I'm not really sure who's going to start on the right wing, as in right back, whether it's Dalot or Mazraoui, but we'll see as the season goes.
I was coming to that because I felt like, Dalot is a natural right back. Mazraoui can play either right back or left back. I failed to understand why the coach would put Mazraoui at the right back, Dalot's natural position, and put Dalot on the left back, while Mazraoui can play so well on the left back. I didn't understand that kind of a lineup. What do you think of that?
I thought, I can say it in this way. Dalot alichezeshwa hiyo position most of last season because Luke Shaw was injured. They tried it with Van Bissaka and it didn't work. I think with Dalot, it was, of course it wasn't perfect, but I think because he was played there more regularly and Van Bissaka at the other end, he was putting in good performances, though his left foot is not the strong. Of course, right foot second or stronger foot. So napata cross ball, it's somehow challenging if you are on the left. We saw that with England at the Euros. Starting ukianza a right-footed fullback at the left side, it will be very hard to cross, to put the ball inside the box.
Exactly.
So like you have to cut in and cross it with your right foot. So it's a challenge. I don't know if Luke should be out for how long, but they definitely need somebody like Luke Shaw, somebody like Malasia, and I think they'll be good. Now it has to be competition between Dalo and Mazraoui at the right side of the fullback.
And I have something. If you ask me, of course, I'm looking. When I look at the whole the game now as a whole, if you ask me, the first half was better than the second half. If you would ask me, because I was looking at the first half in comparison with the second half. The first half we played now the high press tactic, whereby which is synonymous now with Ten Hag.
Yeah.
The first half is whereby we saw the Ten Hag ball, how Ten Hag wants his team to play. And why do I think that we played so well? Why am I saying we? Why I think Manchester United played so well in the first half is because there's one thing people maybe don't realize, maybe they were not keen on. I think the inclusion or having Mason Mount as number 10 brought a very different style, brought that energy at the midfield. Because we know Mason Mount is not as is very well. Mason Mount is like an animal.
Yeah.
He's like a Kante somehow. When he's on his feet, he presses a lot, and that is what we want to see from a team like Manchester United, And that's why I'm telling you, first half was better off. As much as, despite the fact that we got a goal in the second half, but first half was better because the high pressing that is synonymous with Ten Hag is what we saw in the first half.
Yeah.
I know that Fulham came in with fire for the first 10 minutes. They were playing so well. Fulham, they were attacking all that. But now when the game became settled, Fulham was searching for the ball, for the better part of first half. And that's what we want to see from a team like Manchester United, dominating an opponent. I know that maybe you may forget to say this, but Manchester lost a lot of open chances. There was a chance by Garnacho, of course, very open, that was supposed just to go in. Rashford had like 2 chances lost. We had one by Casemiro. Those are almost... If you were clinical enough, not we, if Manchester was clinical enough, they were supposed to come out at least with 5 goals from that game. Frankly speaking. Yeah. And there's one thing also I noted about that game. Casemiro. Yeah. That was one of his best games in a year. Yeah. He played so well with the contribution defensively and also attacking wise, because I was looking at the long passes, the passes he was giving out, amazing passes. Yeah. We cannot fail to talk about that. Now coming to the new signings, what do you make of let us focus now on the new signings only. I know you have touched on them now. I want us to go deep on the new signings in Manchester United. What do you think about the performance of the new signings in Manchester United?
I feel like, okay, let me start from the late, though we didn't see
so much of
enough.
him.
So let's give him time. Maybe if he starts the next game, we can judge him from there. But going to Zaxi, he offered something that we have lacked for a very, very long time at United, which is he gives us a different perspective at the forward line compared to maybe Højlund, who is more of a traditional striker, the types of Haaland and Akina Lukaku. Yeah. He's more of a, as he
calls
said,
himself a 9.5
striker. So he'll drop into midfield, receive the ball, play around, build up, which is something that is very, very hard to deal with as a defender.
Exactly.
Because you're wondering, do I drop into midfield and follow him? Or so we're going to see more of that as the season goes on. And I'm very happy he scored on his debut, and we're hoping for more goals. So, yeah.
And
what I can say, sorry for cutting you off. No, what I can say is that that wasn't a convincing win. Okay, you can build. It is a win that you can build on. But if mngekuwa kwa situation kama Chelsea, mpate a strong team, amngekuwa na good start. Ten Hag angekuwa in. Ten Hag bado is still under pressure. Actually, this is in ile season yenye, if you don't perform, you are out. And it's luck. It's luck that for real. I can just say that because if you could have gotten Fulham is a good side. You can just maybe unaweza sema Fulham hawaku take their chances because that's a good side. Kina Adama Traore, Rodrigo Muniz na Smith Rowe, those are good players. They can wanaweza shinda hiyo game. Last time at Old Trafford before mlishindwa na Fulham.
Exactly.
It was almost the same result, but I think, okay, it was a win is a win. That's what you say. Hata kama it's not convincing, a win is a win, and you can build on it. Now, what should Ten Hag do to build? You should fix the attack. Me, for real, Bruno Fernandes starting as a striker, for me, I can say it does not work because okay, I get why namweka kama false nine. It will be very hard to mark him because most of the time he'll be dropping deep, Rashford and Ingia striker, and all that could change tactics. But if you get a good side in Yetwina, I don't know, he just has to fix the front line, the attack, and take the charge. That's why they have Van Nistelrooy.
Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Yes, Van Nistelrooy. That in the coaching department, so that they should take those chances if they wanna miss. Yeah.
Just to close up on that particular team, I think Manchester United, I would say, coming from, like, remember, like in the second leg, Fulham beat Manchester United. For me, I think it was a fair game. Fair to Manchester United, and you know, before the game, a fortnight before the game, Nani had said that the team was not ready. I don't know if you heard him say that. Yeah, he said that the team was not ready, but now because the league has already started, there's nothing they could do, and we saw a bit of that. But at the end of the day, one thing to keep Manchester should be happy about is now they have at least somebody who can convert goals, you know, one chance, one goal, you know, and the beauty of people, a player like Zagzi, like you've said, Rodney, it's very hard to know. You cannot man-mark him. Yeah. Because if you try to man-mark him, he will lose. You'll have to follow him deep, and you leave your defense line very vulnerable. You know? So it's very difficult to mark such a guy. And so there's so much to look for from Delete because he didn't get enough time. Yeah. He came in at the dying minutes. So I hope we'll see him in the next games. But this one thing before we go briefly about now the Manchester United defense. We have like almost how many defense? Almost 6 people at defense. We have Delete. We have Maguire. We have Lindelof is not yet gone, but I hope he goes.
Lindelof. He's not going anywhere. Unfortunately.
Yes, we still have somebody. Now we still have Renyoro. Yeah. Who will be coming in. I think after 4 weeks he'll be back. Yeah. We have somebody Martinez. Like Martinez is there. Yeah. So you are Ten Hag. Who is your first choice defender?
My first choice would be Delete and Martinez for now. When Euro comes back, it would be Euro and Martinez. On the right back, preferably Mazraoui, though I also like Dalot, but I feel like Mazraoui offers us more on the right back. Left back, preferably Shaw. Though again, I am hoping, really hoping we sign another one before the window closes. Yeah.
But if you're going to go with the defense of maybe Lenioro and Martinez, what do you make of Delete? Because he came with the promise that he'll be getting games. Delete now, he is 25 years old. Euro is 18 years old. Yeah. You know, you cannot. It is not fair to bench a new signing, a 25-year-old who has a proven track record of playing high-profile matches, and you're putting in an 18-year-old Lenioro who is still fresh, had one good season last season. I think it will be very difficult for Ten Hag, unless you're going to try to put in at back three.
True.
To include both Euro, Martinez, and let us remember, like Maguire played one of his best games last week, this Friday. Yeah. That was the best I've seen from Maguire in a long time. So this Maguire again coming up, like you've said, Lindelof is injured, so he'll not be going anywhere. Yeah. When he gets well, you also have a surplus of Lindelof again. And remember also, this guy, this guy who is always injured.
Who?
The left back.
Sure.
Not
Malacia.
Unless it's almost coming in, you're almost having Shaw inside. We have Harry Amas here. We have Mazraoui here. We have Dalot here. So like the defense line is almost 10 people in the defense. Yeah. Very difficult for a coach.
I don't think it's a difficult position because there's this comment someone said that, okay, not me, but Man United fans are allergic to squad depth. Because you look at our squad depth and you're like, we have too many players, who's going to start? But I don't think it's a problem. It's more of a solution compared to what we had last season. Last season, we had a lot of players who were missing either due to injury or suspensions, and it became a very hard problem for us. as in a very big problem for us. But right now we have quality and quantity in our squad. So it depends on, first of all, the tactics the manager is going to use, depending on whichever game. And that's where he can decide, okay, I'll start you and I'll bench you. So at least now he has multiple options compared to where we were last season.
Straight now to the team, the myth, perennial next seasoners, Arsenal. I know somebody's going to kill me for that. I know. Jack, I am sorry. Let's talk about Arsenal. Amazing start.
Yeah, definitely.
Comfortable win.
Definitely.
Against a good side.
Yes.
That is in Wolves. What do you make of that game? What do you make of that game?
It's just simple. That was a good, banter aside, that was a good start, a convincing start to a season because ni kuendeleza ile nitongwaje ile
msururu wa
hiyo kinyume. But as in a team that has maintained its composure, has, as in we have seen them, unajua a lot of teams like losing the league twice in a season, as in each season mnamaliza number 2, the next season mnamaliza number 2.
So the power of consistency.
Okay, there's consistency. You can say consistency, but consistency, at least we are consistent. But now we could have lost our composure a long time ago, as in our heads could have gone down. But now this team, nimependa venye wamejicompose, wamesema let's go again, let's show them who we are, as in tumeji-establish that we are now a force in this league. A lot of people saying that Arsenal are the favorites to win the league this time. As in short, kwa into that bracket na Man City's and Liverpool's. I think it was just a good start. We needed that. Unajua kama tunge lose or draw, ingeleta another topic and heads ingekuwa zinaenda chini already. But this team is very stacked in a good way. I can say that. Umeongelelea tu defense venye ati Man United, your defense is very stacked. A lot of same case to Arsenal. Our defense is very, very, very stacked, and it is stacked with good players. Now that's the difference with Arsenal. Not Man United, unajua mko too stacked. Lindelof bado hako, unaweza pata hata Phil Jones, naona. But sasa with Arsenal,
no, Phil Jones retired.
Okay. The legend himself. But now with Arsenal, we've brought in Calafiori, and then Timber is fit. We have the back four. Tomiyasu, when fit, he will be wanting to play. No, so it is very. Hapo ndo nimeget swali yako, like how will the coach able to manage this defense? As long as establish your strong defense, your strong back four, you won't struggle. According to Arsenal, sisi tusha establish our strong back four. Maybe we have a problem with our left side, which is the left back, but the other three side, that is William Saliba, Gabriel and Ben White. Yeah. That hakuna msend atawatoa unless injured. And then we have now a person sasa left side, ndo sasa Ateta nafaa kujua who will he start. Is it Timber, Calafiori? Niliona hiyo game ya Wolves alianza Zinchenko, and then Timber came on later, and he played well. His defense is ako solid at the back, but unajua sasa as the games come in thick and fast, utakuja kurealize hii game itahitaji this type of defender.
Yeah, exactly.
This game itahitaji a person like Zinchenko. So it's just about planning your game, planning your style. The midfield and the attack, no, as in there's no kuongea mingi about it, but a good start and we move to the next.
And
that's what we'll say.
I'm looking at this Arsenal team, and I, as a football stakeholders as a love of football,
Okay.
it's an amazing side, you know. If you look at the midfield, you have Thomas Partey, Odegaard, and Rice.
Yeah.
You can never have a better one than that, you know.
Yeah.
Especially when you're going for a 4-3-3, you know. You have a very creative in Odegaard. You have a strong defense line of people who can go back to help the defense, and the ball players. Somebody like Partey, and you have Declan Rice. Yani, literally, Arsenal is so good from every angle you look at it. If you look at the forward, you have Saka, who is always on form. You have Havertz, of course, the resurgence of Havertz from last season, mind-blowing.
And with Havertz, it will be in season ya Havertz actually. This itakuwa season ya Havertz because alianza
Shaky. It was shaky at first.
The first, and of course Chelsea fans started laughing. 60 million down the drain, blah blah blah. Now look, 60 million imepay off vizuri. And I think Havertz atakuwa kwa hiyo conversation ya
Top scorers
with that. For real, alimaliza season in a strong way.
Exactly.
Despite losing the league, alimaliza very strong.
And I started the same way.
Na ameanza like yendo alikuwa at the Arsenal team, he was the last person to score the last Premier League goal for Arsenal, and now he has scored the first. So the way I look at Havertz, it is ni season yake kwa hii team, despite kusema Saka tushajua mali tumemgauge. Now Havertz has to prove the Chelsea fans wrong.
I want us to talk a little bit about Martinelli because I'm having a different especially on the Arsenal fans. They have different perspective of Havertz. There's some who feel like he's a flop. There's some who feel like he's a good player and can improve. Not Havertz, Martinelli.
Okay.
What's your take on Martinelli, especially Manu, because you're an Arsenal fan?
With Martinelli, what I can say is this season is either a make or break season. I can use that term because now Trossard kuwa signed kwa team, I think imeka hiyo pressure. It has put a lot of pressure on Martinelli, despite he's still the one starting. But now kama hata kuwa na, because amedrop hatuwezi, we can't hide that. Amedrop his performances. Martinelli wa 2022-23 season, it was 2022-2023 season when we first lost the league, the first time we were challenging for the league. Hiyo ndo niliona Martinelli was on his prime, as in of course hajafika prime yake, but he showed his best. Tukiingia hii season nyingine yenye sasa we lost the league the second time.
Consistency.
Yeah, a bad thing. But when you tuliingia this second season, now the signing of Trossard, I think ilieka more pressure on him, and now Trossard came in and alikuwa the top scorer actually. Na as in ni clinical. Yeye ndo ametufungia bao in the Champions League, and now and then Martinelli wasn't fit. Kuna time alikuwa injured, so unapata when somebody returns from injury, he has to find his place into the starting 11, and that's what Martinelli akiingia kama starting is not impacting on the team, on the ground, and that's what mimi naona hii season he has to kurudile level yenye alikuwa, ama atakuwa kwa bench because Trossard is knocking.
Exactly. And briefly, Rodney, I want to talk about the Arsenal side, like generally, within a minute.
Yeah. On the point of Martinelli, I feel like he's at the same phase that Rashford is in at the moment, where there's a bit of goal drought. His performances aren't really consistent, which doesn't mean he's a bad player. It's just what I would say a phase. It happens to everyone. So as a fan, all you have to do is just support them, and hopefully they can pick up the pace and go back to where he was originally. Now, moving on to Arsenal. As much as I am a dedicated Arsenal hater,
very much evident.
All I can say is they are at a very, very, very good position compared to maybe where we are. And as much as people are counting them out and saying maybe they'll flop or they won't win the league again.
Second place again.
there's a very good chance they could win the league this time, considering that Guardiola might be leaving next season. We're not really sure how that might impact City. So there's a good chance Arsenal might actually win this time, because last season they lost by only 2 points. 2 points is a very small margin.
Exactly.
It's only one game, and they could have easily won the league.
It was only Aston Villa and they could have won.
Yeah.
Could
because they had the goal difference. So there's a very good chance they could win the league this time. And hopefully they do.
Hopefully they don't. Now,
we will. Not even hopefully. We will.
Personally, because I don't want to see City win the league again. We've had enough of them. I would rather see Arsenal or any other team win this time. So let's see. We'll see.
I understand your point, because as a Manchester United fan, you don't want to see a City dominance.
Yeah.
As a Manchester United fan, you don't want to see an Arsenal winning the league.
Yeah.
You're at a very, very bad point.
Maybe Manchester United.
you're at a very bad point of life in regards to football.
Yeah.
Anyway, let us hope none of that happens. Neither wins. I would rather have to win it. Now, now let us not go to the to another game, which was a very big game during the weekend, because we have only 9, like, let's say 4 minutes. In 4 minutes time, let us talk about Chelsea and Manchester City. Okay. Somebody, I saw something written. It was banter that Chelsea walipigwa kanduru, and I couldn't help but laugh. Let's talk about Chelsea and Manchester City, that game. Briefly, within 4 minutes time, all of us would have talked about something.
Overall, sindio? Of course, ilikuwa okay. Last tukiwa hapa kwa show, nilisema it will be a tight one, because this is a different Chelsea side with a different coach, and okona home crowd, and ukiangalia their record against City last season, City haven't won against Chelsea. So it was another tricky fixture. But City just took it easy. Although there was a time, kulikuwa na moment Chelsea almost came back. Niliona Nicolas ni kama his goal was disallowed, and then they have had chances. Kuna time yenye they made a substitute, Pedro Neto kuingia kwa team. It changed the game, as inside Chelsea. Chelsea really attacked. Pedro Neto impacted the game, very, very impactful. And it was close for them to Jackson should be clinical more. That's what I can say. But of course, we knew Man City would have won. Kovacic scoring against his former club. That we didn't see that one coming, because Kovacic is not a goal scorer as much, but he scored.
Against Chelsea, he's
Against
Chelsea, he's a scorer.
He's a scorer. Yeah.
Rare occasions.
Next time.
Yeah. But it was a good game, an entertaining game, of course. A good time, as in kuset your pace, ligi. And Man City, of course, wameanza defense yao tena. I don't see them down. As in, City are just too good. As in, they're just too good. With Pep, KDB, Foden, kama Foden anacheza, KDB anacheza, Haaland anacheza, Bernardo anacheza, and that back four ya Akanji na Gvardiol, it's just too good. Hata sisi Arsenali, it's maybe a draw. So,
Ronnie, briefly.
On Chelsea, I feel like they are at a very hard position, considering the number of players they have. Yesterday they only had 30 players, but they have a squad of 45 players.
That's too big.
So how do you decide who to start, who to bench, who to bring into your first 11? They are at a very hard spot, and I don't know if it will pay off in the end, but we've seen a few signs, especially in the game against City. But we'll see as the season goes on. And I'm not sure if they're going to sign Osimhen, considering how lackluster, if I can say so, Nicolas Jackson was. He missed quite a few chances. He's a good player, but he missed quite a few chances yesterday. So we're yet to see if they're going to improve the forward line. but there's still a bit of time for them to either fix that or to decide to sign another player.
Somebody said, my esteemed viewer, somebody said that Chelsea played so well, but the only mistake they made is coming back for the second half. Just your closing remarks, please, each. 1 minute each, please.
Okay.
1 minute.
Of course, I'd like to thank everyone that has joined us in this conversation up at Scoreboard. Of course, I am happy that the Premier League is back, La Liga is back. In short, football is back, and we can discuss all these matters. Of course, even Bundesliga is back, and I saw Vincent Kompany winning his first Bundesliga match as a Bayern coach, and yeah, we can commend him on that. And of course, we'll talk more about this footballing action, whether it's athletics, whether it's any matters to do with sports. And share your opinions down the screen. We are live on Facebook and on YouTube. Yeah, thank you so much for those that have joined us. And
yes, Rodney, just a closing remarks.
A big thank you to everyone who has joined us this afternoon on the Scoreboard. And as Manu said, the Premier League is finally back, so we're looking forward to the games this weekend to see how the various teams will perform, not only in the Premier League but also in Spain and Germany, worldwide. So we'll be here next week to update you on how the games go and how the various teams perform. And yeah, have an amazing afternoon.
Yes, mine is just to close everything up because the time is not on our side. So have a nice week, a nice sporting week to be precise, and God bless you so much. Let's meet here again next Monday, same time, same place, with more sporting action. Like I said, the FKF Premier League is starting off this weekend, so there'll be so much to discuss in the coming Monday. God bless you. See you. Adios. Till next time.